Hello and welcome to Crockpots and Casseroles. Today I am making balsamic chicken and Brussels sprouts. So the first thing we're going to do is take our Brussels sprouts, open up the bag. We're going to cut them in half and layer them into our Crockpot. Let's spray our Crockpot first. So we're going to spray our Crockpot with some veggie oil, olive oil, whatever you have. And we're going to cut our Brussels sprouts in half. I'm going to put a nice layer on the bottom of the crock pot. Now these don't have to be cut in any particular way. You're just cutting them so they're a little smaller in the long run. Now another option you have at this point is to add in some baby red potatoes, which you can also cut into smaller pieces and layer them in with the Brussels sprouts. Now the idea is that you want the Brussels sprouts to provide a lift to your chicken. So basically, by cutting the Brussels sprouts up, putting them in the bottom, your potatoes too if you add them, it will give it'll lift the chicken out of the fluid. So that the chicken doesn't boil in the fluid, but actually cooks instead. Last two. Okay. So we've got a nice layer. Now we're going to take our chicken. I'm going to trim it up a little. I always give my chicken an extra trim. I'm not a fan of chicken fat. Give it a little extra trim. I also feel that generally chicken breasts are a little too thick, so I will take my chicken, lay it flat, take my knife, which is quite sharp, and slice the chicken breast down the center so that it becomes two pieces that are not as thick. And then I'm going to gently layer those on top of the Brussels sprouts. Slice this one. Layer those in. Okay. Next we're going to make our balsamic Dijon seasoning. Get rid of this garlic real quick. In a bowl, we are going to start adding our ingredients. First thing we're going to do is our 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. That into our bowl. Next is, if I can find it, next is 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Light or dark doesn't matter. I'm using light because that's what I happen to have on hand. Again, this is 1/3 cup of brown sugar. right into our vinegar. Grab yourself a fork. You're going to use your fork to whisk in the brown sugar into the vinegar to get the brown sugar to melt. Here comes my 2-year-old son, about to make his first debut. Next, we are going to take some Dijon mustard. You're going to want tablespoons. You're going to want 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. That's 1, 2. Scrape that out a little. Mix it up. Next, you want 2 cloves of garlic minced. I used pre-minced garlic because I just don't have the time to mince it myself. And this is, what's the ratio? I believe it's 1 teaspoon. Yep, 1 teaspoon of this is equal to 1 clove of garlic. So this is my half teaspoon measure. So I'm going to do 4 of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That last one was a little big, but that's okay. Next, I'm going to mix that in. I'm going to put in some oregano, probably about a teaspoon, give or take. Again, you don't have to be crazy positive on your measurements. About a teaspoon of oregano, a little bit of parsley, probably about half a teaspoon of parsley. And last but not least, you want some red pepper flakes. A hint of red pepper, unless you like it spicy. But my family, my husband likes it spicy. Me and the kids are a little more conservative. So that's all I'm doing is that little bit. My husband can add more if he wants it. Now, I am not a fan of cooking with salt and pepper. I feel that those ingredients can always be added afterwards. But if you want to, at this point, you can add salt and pepper to your mixture. Depends on what your preference is. We're going to mix that up. And we're going to pour it over our chicken. Now the chicken is sort of a barrier between the juice and the Brussels sprouts in the beginning. And then as the juice starts to seep through the chicken and into the Brussels sprouts will start to boil and keep the chicken out of the boiling fluids. In which case you will have delicious crisp chicken, soft Brussels sprouts, all with just the right amount of flavor. So all I'm going to do now is put my lid on. And I'm going to put this on low for about 5 hours. And that's it. Now, if you added the potatoes, you don't have to worry about anything else. I personally will be using my rice cooker to make some white rice to go with this. And that's it. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.